Sai Ram. Sai Sat Charitra, Chapter 3. Sai Baba's Sanction and Promise. As described in the previous chapter, Sai Baba gave his complete assent in writing the Sai Sat Charitra and said, I fully agree with you regarding the writing of Sai Sat Charitra. You do your duty, don't be afraid in the least. Steady your mind and have faith in my words. If my Leelas are written, the avidya will vanish, and if they are attentively and devotedly listened to, the consciousness of the worldly existence will abate, and the strong waves of devotion and love will rise up. And if one dives into my Leelas, he would get precious jewels of knowledge. Hearing this, the author was much pleased, and he at once became fearless and confident, and thought that the work was bound to be a success. Then, turning to Shama, Sai Baba said, If a man utters my name with love, I shall fulfill all his wishes, increase his devotion, and if he sings earnestly my life and my deeds him, I shall be set in front and back and on all sides. Those devotees who are attached to my heart and soul will naturally feel happiness. Believe me that if anybody sings my Leelas, I will give him infinite joy and everlasting contentment. It is my special characteristic to free any person who surrenders completely to me and who worships me faithfully and who remembers me and meditates on me constantly. How can they be conscious of worldly object and sensation, who utters my name, who worships me, who think of my stories and my life, and who thus always remember me? I shall draw out my devotees from the jaw of death. If my stories are listened to, all the diseases will be got rid of. So, hear my stories with respect and think and meditate on them, assimilate them. This is the way of happiness and contentment. The pride and egoism of my devotees will vanish. The mind of the hearers will be set at rest, and if he has wholehearted and complete faith, he will be one with supreme consciousness. The simple remembrance of my name as Sai Sai will do away with sins of speech and hearing. Different works assigned to devotees. The Lord entrusts different works to different devotees, but Hemad Pant was allotted the work of writing Sai Sat Charitra. He being a jack of all trades but master of none, he was quite unqualified for this job. Who can describe the true life of Sai Baba? Sai Baba's grace only can enable one to accomplish this difficult work. So, when he took a pen in his hand, Sai Baba took his egoism and himself wrote his stories. The credit of relating these stories, therefore, goes to him but not to Hemad Pant. The stories of Deccan Light. Lighthouses are constructed at various places in the sea to enable the boatman to avoid rocks and dangers and make them sail safely. Sai Baba's stories serve a similar purpose in the ocean of worldly existence. Blessed are the stories of the saint when they enter our hearts through the years. The body, consciousness or egoism and the senses of duality vanish, and when they are stored in the heart, doubts will abate. Pride of the body will fall and wisdom will be stored in abundance. The description of Baba's pure fame and hearing of the same with love will destroy the sins of devotee, and therefore this is a simple sadhana for attaining salvation. The other sadhanas, namely Yoga Tyaga, Dhyana and Dhyana Dharana, are very difficult to practice, but singing and hearing the stories and the glory of the Lord Sai Baba is very easy. The listening to and singing of the stories will remove the attachment to the senses and their objects and will make the devotees dispassionate and will ultimately lead them to self-realization. With this end in view, Sai Baba made me write his stories as Satcharitra. Motherly love of Sai Baba. Hemad Pant gives an instance that how Sai Baba's love towards him was pure and had no parallel. In 1916, Hemad Pant retired from government service. The pension that was settled in his case was not sufficient to maintain his family decently. On Guru Purnima day of that year, he went to Shirdi with other devotees. There, Mr. Anna Chinchanikar of his own accord prayed to Baba for him as follows. Please look kindly at him. The pension he gets is quite insufficient. His family is growing. Give him some other appointment. Remove his anxiety and make him happy. Baba replied, he will get some other job, but now he should serve me and be happy. His plates will be ever full and never empty. He should turn all his attention towards me and avoid the company of atheists, irreligious and wicked people. He should be modest and humble towards all and worship me with heart and soul. If he does this, he will get eternal happiness. Rohila's story. The story of Rohila illustrates Sai Baba's all-embracing love. One Rohila, tall and well-built, strong as a bull, came to Shirdi, wearing a long kafri and was enamored of the Sai who stayed there. Day and night he used to recite in a loud and harsh tone the Kalma from the Holy Quran and shout Allahu Akbar. Most people of Shirdi were working in their fields during the day, and when they returned to their homes at night, they were welcomed with Rohila's harsh cries and shouts. They could get no sleep and felt much trouble and inconvenience. They suffered this nuisance from silence, and when they could stand it no longer, they approached Baba and requested him to check the Rohila and stop the nuisance. Baba did not attend their complaint. Villagers to task and asked them to mind their own business. He said to them that the Rohila had got a very bad wife who tried to trouble the Rohila and they dared not to enter, and they were at peace. In fact, the Rohila had no wife, and by his wife Baba meant Durbuddhi, evil thoughts. As Baba liked prayers and cries to God better than anything else, he took the side of Rohila and asked the villagers to wait and bear with the nuisance which would abate in due course. Baba's sweet and nectar-like words. One day at noon, after Arati, devotees were returning to their lodging when Baba gave the following beautiful advice. Be wherever you like, do whatever you choose. Remember this, well that all what you do is known to me. I am the ruler of all and seated in your hearts. I envelop all the creatures and movable and immovable world. I am the controller, the wire puller of this show, of this universe. I am the mother, origin of all the beings, the harmony of three gunas, the propeller of all senses, the creator, preserver and destroyer. Nothing will harm him who turns his attention towards me, but Maya will lash or whip him who forgets me. All the insects, ants, the visible, movable and immovable world is my body or form. Hearing these beautiful and precious words, he at once decided in his mind to serve no man henceforth but his Guru only. Before concluding this chapter, I request the hearers to live out the various hindrances, indolence, sleep, wandering of mind, attachment to senses, etc., and turn their whole and undivided attention to these stories of Sai Baba. Let their love be natural. Let them know the secret of devotion. Let them not exhaust themselves by other sadhanas. Let them stick to these simple remedies, listening to Sai Baba's story. This will destroy their ignorance and will secure from them salvation. A miser may stay at various places, but he constantly thinks of his buried treasure. So, let Sai Baba be enthroned in the hearts of all. Mera Sai TV presents Sai Sat Charitra Parayana. The ones who hear Sai Sat Charitra be blessed by Sri Dwarakamai Sai Baba. Here we come to the end of Sai Sat Charitra chapter 3. Bow to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.